even now, there's a criminal lack of West Coast IPAs in supermarkets and in the UK as a whole. So when someone tells me, Scott, there's a Westie in Home Bargains, I'm like fucking Usain Bolt up there. So here it is, coming next on Scott Reviews Things. Hello again and welcome back to Scott Reviews Things. Hope Scott Reviews things that Scott Reviews. Hope you're all keeping really well. I got a message earlier on a video from Ali Up saying there's 2 new beers into Home Bargains, Scott. And being a Westie fan, there's a West Coast IPA in there. I'm like, fucking I am going around there like shit off a shovel, mate, because I love a decent made West Coast IPA. Still criminally overlooked. Hazy IPA, New England IPA, Vermont IPA, all that sort of genre is the biggest seller in, well, yeah, it's probably true, in the IPA bracket. People love their pillowy soft, less bitter, fruity hopped IPAs, as do I. Well made ones, especially on track, are fucking fabulous. But my favourite style of beer is a West Coast IPA. So when I see one for £1.49, let's see what this one's about. And this one's from Love Lane up in Liverpool, the Baltic Triangle of Liverpool. And this one is simply called West Coast IPA Classic US Style. It's in Home Bargains at the moment, and it will set you back the princely sum of £1.49, which I think could be a steal. If it's good, it could be a steal. I'm looking up here, behind you, in front of me, is probably the last really good, no, because I had Stone Brewing. Yeah. West Coast IPA that went into the supermarket, and that was West Side Glory from Thornbridge and Stone Brewing, actually. So just up here, the can's up here. I don't know if this is still available. If it is, and you like a Westie, do yourself a favour and pick one of them up, because it is really, really good. And obviously with Stone Brewing pulling it out of the UK market, maybe this is going to be fantastic. So this is from Love Lane. I've had some decent beers. I've just done this one, the Aussie Pale, and that's okay. I didn't think that was too bad at all. And we might bring it up here, we might have a little comparison while we're sat here. And this one's 5%, so it's a bit low. It's a bit low on the ABV. I would have liked it to be a bit higher, but at £1.49, I suppose we're going to struggle to get it at that price. Brewed on the west coast of England, this IPA is hop forward in character with a bitter finish. A crisp body with some malt sweetness, orange, citrus and pine, classic. With a clear, deep, golden colour. Take a sip and take a trip to the West Coast. A special release from the Love Lane Brewery. Now we all know West Coast is best coast. It's got the malts and the hops. So hops are Centennial, Amarillo and Simcoe. So all really good American hops. You've got orange, nose orange citrus, piney resin. So a West Coast IPA for people that don't know. Nice malt build, resinous pine, lots of bitterness. Well, it should be if it's a proper West Coast. Orangey, marmaladey, citrusy, peely, that sort of shit. So let's see what this one's like. I'm looking forward to this. If it's £1.49, it's really good. I'll be hot footing it up to Home Bargains tomorrow and emptying the shelf. In the glass, I have washed this glass. It lets me down a little bit sometimes, the Disruption Brewing glass. Yeah, copper colour. Nice copper colour. Not quite cat piss. Maybe a dehydrated cat, we'd call that one, with a nice sort of caramel off-white head, but looks all right. Let's go for a nose, beer sniffers matter, and see if if it smells any good. The West Coast IPA from Love Lane. Love Lane. It's not raging out. Very muted, very, very muted. Get a little bit of caramel. A little bit piney. But, yeah, it's quite muted. Which I don't mind, because that makes me more intrigued. Because I'm not getting like on the nose. What's it like to taste like? Let's find out. Cheers. I tell you what, it ain't bad. It's not bad. It's not brilliant. But again, these two, let's pick this one up here as well. Of these two, I've had worse. Great channel, David J. I mean, in the glass, for £1.49, I don't think we can complain about that. And I've complained a lot about cheap beers in the past. It's very light. It's a very light West Coast. It's not as bitter as I would like it to be, but there is a nice pininess on the end that clings and stays there. Keeps going on and on, like me, on. Fucking on and on, but yeah, it's got a nice bit in it, a nice pininess in there. You've got some caramel malts, a nice sweet malt in there. You've got some like marmalade and grapefruit and lemon peel and sort of like orange pith. Taking the pith now, and very light bodied. I think it's £1.49. If it had a little bit of extra of ABV, you could have got some more of the malt in there and give it a slightly bigger body, because that's what it's really lacking. It's lacking a little bit of body, and it is lacking a little bit of bitterness as well, in complete honesty. But for a £1.49 attempt at a West Coast IPA, I've had damn sight worse for a lot more money. I've had some shocking West Coast IPAs. I had one the other week, last week from I can't remember the brewery. It was fucking awful. It was awful, and I paid about £5.50 for the can. That is not bad. It's not earth shattering. It's not going to set the world on fire. But if you like a half, it's a drinkable. I'd call it more of a West Coast pale than an IPA. So you're lacking a little bit of body, you're lacking a little bit of bitterness, but it's got the other components make up quite nicely. It's not bad. You know what, those two beers, I've got very little to sit and rant and rave about and complain about. Love Lane do some very decent beer. Their New England IPA that's in Home Bargains is supposed to be very, very, very good. I haven't picked that up. Maybe I will. If that's something you would like to see, then leave a comment down below. But their West Coast IPA, currently new to Home Bargains, £1.49 a can. I've had far, far worse for far, far more. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. It's okay. It's doing a good job, half decent job for the money. If it was more money, it would probably get a thumbs down. But at that price range, I'm not going to moan about it. So if you like a West Coast IPA, pick it up. Because let's be honest, any new West Coast IPAs that are in the supermarkets, there's not enough of them. So it's nice to see another one and actually badged as a West Coast IPA as well. So yeah, if you have it, leave a comment down below. If you pick it up, then leave a comment down below. What's your favourite West Coast IPA? Mine's coming in a couple of weeks' time. Well, it might not be. Might be shit. And then I'm well annoyed. So yeah, and go pick these two beers up. I mean, £2. How much did it cost me? £2. £2.98 for the two beers. Can't go wrong, can you? £3. Under £3 for two half decent beers. And we're paying £4 for some utter shit in some of the other supermarkets. Anyway, that's a different story. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. There's a subscribe button somewhere. Just got reviews things, help the channel boost. See you soon. Have a great evening.